The Super Seconds Festival has opened. You know when you're watching vlogs and you see those launch videos where people are talking to the camera and they've just launched their products and in the background Shopify's going ka-ching, 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 and I'm sure you've been there with me in thinking, oh, I wish that was me. Today has been a flurry of orders. I can't believe it. It's actually blown me away, to be honest. So I'm so grateful. We've never come anywhere near close to having that many orders over a weekend. Good morning, everybody. I wouldn't normally hop on here and open a vlog looking like this very early on a Saturday morning without much sleep, but it's a very exciting day in the studio today because the Super Seconds Festival has opened. The Super Seconds Festival is an event that takes place online once or twice a year where around 250 makers are selected to take part, selling off seconds items with minor imperfections, samples that maybe never made it to the website, or end-of-line items that will be leaving the shop at big discounts, up to 75% off. I've actually offered, I think my biggest discount is 80 something % off, and it is by far the biggest sale event that I do every year. It's the second year that I've taken part and I've done things a little differently this year. I'm hoping that lots of new people might find me through the festival website, which has the full lineup of makers taking part this weekend. But I wanted to give my followers who have followed me for a while the opportunity to shop first because they're such big discounts and some items we've got like 1 and 2 of, and so I wanted you to be able to get first dibs. So you will have seen, if you watch my previous vlogs, that I set up a VIP waitlist, and the VIPs who signed up have had access for 25 minutes now. So they've got an hour to shop before it opens to the public, and we have had 5 orders, I believe. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, 5 orders. I can see that there are people on the website and people in different countries, which is really exciting because I've been working really hard this week to get my shipping back open for the USA and to the EU and Northern Ireland. The USA shipping's been paused since around the beginning of August. EU and Northern Ireland, that's been paused for a very long time now, and so I was determined to get things back up and running, and I have done a video on my experience with that, so I will link it. Make sure you check it out if you're interested in that, because there's a lot to get my head around, and so hopefully it might just help you see someone talk it through. I had a massive clear out in the studio ahead of this sale, and it's been a lot of work listing it all online, so I'm really hoping we do sell a significant amount of what's up there because I don't want to have to put it all away again and do it all again next year. I've had a few mishaps with, well, I haven't had the mishaps with trying different manufacturers and things this year, and I've ended up with a lot of stock that I wouldn't sell at full price, but that is still perfectly lovable and usable, and I just don't want it to either be wasted or for it to just sit in here unloved and unused. So I'm keeping my fingers crossed, but I'm happy we've had a sort of initial flurry and I can see that people are having a browse. So my email is scheduled to go out at 10 o'clock to let people know that the website is reopen again. And for now, I just need to set a social media post to go live at 10 o'clock. So let's do that and maybe get coffee. Hi everyone, it's later on in the day now and I just wanted to check in with you about how the day's gone. I can't actually believe it. Ironically, this is the one time that I have not kept the camera rolling as I'm launching everything and seeing those initial orders come in. Usually, apart from the last one where I was also looking after my little girl and I was kind of on and off the camera, usually I leave it rolling and orders kind of dwindle in. And you know when you're watching vlogs and you see those launch videos where people are talking to the camera and they've just launched their products and in the background Shopify's going ka-ching, 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 or they've got like one of those counters in the background. And I always watch those vlogs and I'm sure you've been there with me in thinking, oh, I wish that was me. That would be so cool if that happened and I caught it on camera and I could share it with people or just feel proud of it, you know. And today has been a flurry of orders, and I didn't have the camera rolling, but that's fine because I still feel personally fulfilled even though you haven't got footage of me looking shocked and hearing the ka-chings. I can't believe that I have had 52 orders today. That's never happened in the history of my shop. It didn't happen last year's Super Seconds Festival, and I can see it's a good mix of people who have shopped with me before and new people, and that's really great that the festival has brought new people to my shop. And what is even greater is that I'm going to be able to get rid of some of this stock and clear space in the studio, ready to do a big reorganisation of the studio. Instead of having spent all week sorting stuff out and then having to just put it all back where it came from, that would have been a very sad day. And I want these products to be out in the world. And who cares if things have got minor imperfections? They're still perfectly lovable and usable. Nothing and nobody is perfect. So I just wanted to check in and tell you that it's been a very good day. It's made me very happy. Obviously, I need to have a proper look what's sold. But if I have a quick look on here, how did I do it earlier? That's more useful to know. Ooh, didn't mean to press that. So today, I've had 51 apparently orders. I thought it said 52, but either way, 51, let's say. And that's 364 items heading out the door. I am so grateful. So thank you so much. If you have shopped with me, it means the absolute world. So thank you. And I hope you've got some lovely bargains. I will check in with you again on Monday and we'll have a proper breakdown of how it went, look at what's sold, and I'll start packing up your orders. So I'll see you then. Morning everyone, it is Monday morning and I'm a little bit sleepy this morning, but we need to get busy because it's been an amazing Super Seconds weekend. I can't believe it. It's actually blown me away, to be honest. So I'm so grateful if you've placed an order. We had 73 orders over the weekend. That was, I don't know, we've never come anywhere near close to having that many orders over a weekend. So today is going to be a busy packing day and we're just going to work through the list. I've taken the approach of separating out the orders to which ones have got notepads and journals because they live in the house. So I'm going to do some of the ones that don't first, clear a bit of space in here, and then bring those across a bit later. I'm on a shorter working day today as well because I'm on nursery pickup duty. So we're going to see how many orders we can get done in the time. I'm going to be working on picking all the orders, getting everything together, any little bits of finishes, like if something needs a ribbon added or going in a gift box or any little bits that aren't done already. And then passing to Mum to do the packing and find boxes that they will fit in, which always takes the longest. So let me show you what we're working with and then we'll see how many we can get done. So along here I've got everything organised. Well, this isn't all of it, but it's some of it that you will have seen me organising in a previous vlog when I was sorting through the stock. So I've got mugs and tumblers along the top, and then we've got stickers, mouse mats, caps. These are all ornaments and coasters. This is the last of my prints in here. Then we've got key rings behind it in there. And then on the end here, we've got all cards. These are seconds, these are end of line. Then behind me, we've got more. We've got ornaments in here, end of line pins. These are all wildflower cards, and then we've got bundles behind. And then these are all seconds pins organised and graded. So my plan is to gather the things from this side, and then my lovely glamorous assistant over there, give us a wave, is packing the orders. So we'll see how we go. I think we might end up with a bottleneck where I then jump in and pack a few orders and then we start again. But let's see how many we get through. I am looking and feeling very bedraggled. If you can see behind me here, this, I think I've just done a count, is 43 packages. I've been on my own the last couple of hours. My mum went out to an appointment, so I carried on picking and packing. She's due back any time, but I've got to go out now to do the nursery run. So I think what I'm going to do is say to her when she comes back, can she sort out all the postage? So I think that's going to take a very long time. I know we've had a few more orders come in today that I haven't looked at yet. Scarily, it's not looking that much emptier in general, but we'll see how we go, because I did have to take all the mug orders out and put them to one side because we ran out of mug boxes. So they're coming tomorrow. Tuesdays isn't normally a working day, so I'll see if I get any time to nip in here and do any bits. But if not, I'll catch up with you Wednesday and see how we're going. Hi everyone, it is Thursday now, and yesterday I worked in the afternoon and I managed to get 19 orders out of the door. 5 of those were Etsy orders that I needed to catch up with, so quick maths, 14 more Super Seconds orders gone. So I've had a look this morning and I've printed off the rest of the ones that have come in throughout the week, and we've still got 29 to go to get the orders down to 0. So I'm hoping we can get that done this afternoon. Considering I managed to do 40 something on Monday, I think we'll do it. But before that, I wanted to sit down and talk to you about something that I think has been a huge help in getting these orders in throughout the Super Second sale, and that is OmniSend, who I use for my email marketing, and they're kindly sponsoring this next segment of the video. OmniSend has been a massive help to my small business since I signed up around the middle of last year, and it's helped me bring in consistent sales. But this time with Super Seconds, I really tried to put in more of a email strategy around the event, rather than just an email at the last minute and then not mention it again. And if you saw my previous vlog in the run-up to Super Seconds, you'll know that I also implemented a wait list for this event, and I think it worked out really well. So I wanted to share the actual results with you so you can see what I did and how it worked, and then hopefully you can pick up some tips for future launches or sales. All in all, across this event, I sent out 8 emails. 3 of those were specifically to the VIP list and 5 to the general list. And in the run-up to this event, I also tried to promote my wait list a lot more. So everywhere I was promoting the sale, I was also promoting the wait list, and the fact that specifically for this, I had limited items that I only had like one of, or real discount, like big bargains, but there are only a few available. So it was a real incentive to sign up to the wait list. So I made sure that I was selling the benefits of the wait list so that I could capture those people, and obviously offering them an hour early access meant that they could shop the sale an hour before and have a higher chance of getting those bargains. I was sharing it on my Instagram stories every day. I was sharing it here on YouTube. I was talking about it. The links were in my videos, sharing it in the descriptions of Instagram posts. I had little graphics on Instagram. So everywhere I could think of to put this link, I put it. I had a Super Seconds holding page which had an email form embedded in it, so you could sign up there. There were just so many places I was mentioning it, and getting it out more meant that I got a bigger take up for the waitlist. So I got 48 sign-ups in the end, and 40% of those people ordered clicking through their email from OmniSend. So more of them might have ordered just by going straight to the website. Obviously, I don't know that, but 40% of them clicked from their email and ordered, which I think is a really high number. And that's not including the people who ordered on the general list. So what I did was I sent some exclusive emails just to the VIPs that were a bit different to make them feel a little bit more special. A thank you for being there. So they got a kind of first preview of what was in the sale. They also got a pre-launch email which described some of the really limited items and highlighted those as things they might want to snap up first. And then they got their launch email with their password to access the website an hour earlier than anyone else. And I'll talk about that in a minute. That went really well. Then to the general list, I had an introduction to Super Seconds Festival, what it was all about, when it was, and I was promoting the VIP list in there. So if you want that early access, you've got to get on the VIP list. And the second email was a general pre-launch email that highlighted some of the products when it was, and then I did another one with another early access reminder that it was kind of the last chance to sign up for that exclusive shopping hour. Then I sent one when the sale went live at 10 o'clock, and obviously stressed that the VIPs had already been shopping, things were rushing off the shelves. And then I sent a general email out to everyone on Monday saying a massive thank you to everyone that had ordered over the weekend, and highlighting some of the products that were still available and letting people know that the sale will continue throughout this week. So I kept just dropping in and reminding people with some slightly different information each time what was happening. So I'll tell you how many orders we got from those emails. You can see it here on my OmniSend. People ordered through different emails, not necessarily just the sale is live email that I sent. So it might be that they just searched their inbox for super seconds and clicked through a different email. But you can see across all of these orders that OmniSend generated £734.77 in orders. That is amazing. That is from the launch of the sale up till now, and it ends tomorrow. And of that, more than half of it was from the VIP list. So £430, 19 orders from that VIP list. And like I said, 40% of people on the VIP list placed an order through clicking through their emails. And then £304.77 from the general list. And all of the emails generated some income. They all said something slightly different. And apart from the very first VIP preview, everyone clicked through on one of those emails and made a sale. So we had 16 sales from the general list and 19 sales from the VIP list, which I think is amazing. People really were making use of that exclusive shopping hour, and orders were coming in during that time, which is also peace of mind for me to know that you've already got some sales under your belt early in the weekend, and to create more of a buzz around the launch, which was really amazing. And during the sale, I also had more people signing up to be on my newsletter, so that's even more people I can contact in the future, and I'm going to talk a bit more about that in a future video. But I am blown away by how well this has worked, and it's definitely something I'm going to be implementing in future launches and events, is sitting down and having a plan of here's my 2-3 weeks around an event, and which days am I going to send emails and what are they going to contain that's slightly different from the others. So I wanted to share the actual results with you so that you can see how well it's been working for me. And I really do think that if you're not using email marketing already for your small business, you absolutely need to. OmniSend has a completely free plan which remains free while you're building your email list up to 250 subscribers. So it's amazing for small businesses that are trying to build that email list. And if you already happen to have more than that number of subscribers and you want to switch to OmniSend, I also have a discount code that you can use to get 30% off. So I'll leave that in the description below. The link you need to access their free plan is also in the description below. So go and visit that and have a think how you can be a bit more intentional around your email marketing when you've got launches and events. Maybe set yourself a little challenge to send X amount of emails for your next launch. And I would love to know how you get on and if you feel like it makes a difference in your sales like it has for me. So now that I've shared that with you, what I want to do is get on with packing, and then at the end of this video I'm going to share the full stats for the sale, how it went, the orders that came in, what I thought of the event as a whole. But I'd love to get these orders out of the door today, and then maybe we can sit down and have a bit of a chat tomorrow. So let's see how we get on this afternoon and if we can get the rest of them done. I am on the floor of my studio, surrounded by this big old pile of boxes. If you can see, it goes all the way up there. And I am so happy to say that we are finished packing up the orders for Super Seconds Festival. I am so tired. What you don't know is this morning, I never thought I'd be one of these people, but this morning I got up early to go and queue at Aldi before it even opened for the wooden toy event. Apparently in my town there was a fight broke out last year between mums trying to get hold of toys at discount prices, and there was a queue round the block, so we went early, me and my mum, to try and get some stuff for Christmas, and we got there at 20 to 7, an hour and 20 minutes before it opened, and there was not a soul there that didn't work there. So you gotta laugh, haven't you? Perhaps everyone gave up after the violence of last year, so I'm very tired, let's just say, after the early start and then all this packing. I have just sent out one more email, couldn't resist, because the sale is still on till tomorrow at midnight. So what I've done is I've actually swapped my greeting card listings to mystery bundles, because what I noticed was, even though we have sold some of the individual cards, what we sold the most of was the wildflower card mystery bundles that I did. So for my other 4 collections where I had cards for sale, I've done mystery bundles per collection, and so they're even bigger discounts. And then I've just done the same for art prints. So art prints I'm completely discontinuing in-house, and A6 ones are almost clear. I've got about 3 left. I about halved the A5 ones and A4 ones. What I had the most left of was the retro prints. So I've put together mystery bundles of 3, and I think we've got 3 A4 and 8 A5. And they're £4 for the A5, £6 for the A4. So yeah, a mega bargain. I'm telling you this, they're not going to be up for sale right now by the time this vlog goes out, but just so you know what I've done. So we'll see if any more sales come in over the last day, and then on the reminder email and the Instagram post, I announce the bundles as well as saying it's the last day to look, see what's there, snap up any last minute bargains, as well as there's been a 10% off any full priced items code running throughout the festival. So you don't have to buy anything from the Super Seconds Festival. If there's anything you like at full price, you can get it with 10% off using the festival code. So I put a reminder about that as well. So we'll see if we get any orders in over the next 24 hours. I've set it to close tomorrow at midnight, and I will head back and chat to you tomorrow about the final stats for the sale and everything, because I'm way too tired to get my head around that right now. And I am going to go and have some dinner, hopefully eat some chocolate later, and have a bit of an early night. So I'll see you in the morning. Hi everyone, it is now Monday after the Super Seconds sale has closed, and when I left you last, I was saying that I'd sent out one more email because the sale ended in 24 hours. That ended up not being the case. So I assumed that if you were carrying on your sale throughout the next week, which I think the majority of makers in the sale were, that because it started on the Saturday, it would run till the Friday. That was just my assumption, that it would be like 7 days. And then it got to the weekend, and I could see on social media people were still posting about stuff on the Saturday morning, so I hadn't actually turned the sale off anyway, so I just left it running throughout the weekend, and people were still shopping from the Super Seconds website and browsing from the catalogue on there and coming across that way. And then I put a final reminder on my Instagram stories on Sunday saying this is the last day, and we got another 17 orders over the weekend, which is just ridiculous. So we've spent a lot of today getting the rest of the orders done, and now I can say we've cleared all the orders. So I had another 5 on the Friday when I thought it was going to close, and then another 17 over the weekend. This Super Second sale has just completely blown me away. I don't know if I can look back on my Shopify to what I did last year, but it certainly wasn't anywhere near this. You must have been working here then.
Yeah, no.
I don't remember it being like nowhere near this.
No, it wasn't.
Probably just a gentle fluttering of orders. But yeah, this year has been amazing. So I've had a little look at the analytics. I've got some statistics to share with you. And then also I was going to talk about what I thought helped this year. So in total, across the whole festival, we got 97 orders, which is ridiculous. That's ridiculous. We've never come anywhere near that. I was editing some of the footage from earlier in this vlog, and like I was saying, I was blown away at the 50 initial orders we got. So to say that then doubled across the rest of the week is just ridiculous. There's a small part of me that wishes we'd hit the triple figures just because we're so close, but what are you gonna do? I can't really grumble at 97 orders, but that would have been really cool. Perhaps that's a future goal to aim for. Although I'm just preparing myself for the fact that something like this is not going to happen again for a long time. You never know, obviously, but this is a very out of the ordinary thing for Sunshine Lane. So yeah, something to sit and celebrate. So across those orders, we sold 697 items. That is ridiculous. I keep saying ridiculous. It's ridiculous. And I'll show you what's left in a little bit and you can see. But we have made a big dent in it. And I'm just really glad that those items have gone off to happy homes because they're no use sitting in this studio unloved on a shelf. Actually, let me show you now. So I'll give you a closer look, but this is what the main table is looking like now that I'd set up. And it was 2 levels of stuff, as well as the top was completely full. So there was stuff in all these cubbies and along the front. So it has actually gone down a lot. So some of them, it's like quite hard to tell how many we actually sold. Like if you look in these sticker bins, you wouldn't necessarily know that we'd sold 140 stickers. But yeah, I'll go through some of the quantities in a minute. This had sticker sheets in. The sticker sheets are all gone. I'm trying to think what else was on the table. We had some mini pouches, there weren't many of those. We had mirrors that have gone. We had a lot more mouse mats. We've only got 2 left now. The coasters have about halved, as of the bookmarks. We've sold quite a few of these. These are end-of-line Christmas decorations. This was full of seconds cards. There's not many left in there now. This little tub at the back was full of key rings and little wristlet fabric key rings that I used to sell. They've all gone now. We have a lot of these wooden key rings that were samples. They didn't turn out how we'd kind of agreed, and there's nothing wrong with them, but they weren't the design as we'd thought. But we have actually sold a lot of those again. It just doesn't necessarily look like it from the table. Then caps, we've probably about halved those. And then the prints, I think we've got 2 A6 prints left. That was a massive stack. It was like up here somewhere. And then A5, the pile was bigger than that and on both sides. So we've sold quite a lot of them and probably halved the A4s. And then on the top, this end was all tumblers. So we've only got 1 seconds and 1 sample tumbler left. And then this side was all mugs all the way along, all across there. Some of them were stacked on top of each other. So we've sold quite a lot of mugs. I've just noticed I've fibbed. I've got 4 sticker sheets left that I thought I'd got rid of them all. Got 4 sticker sheets there. Then behind me, this table was chock-a-block, so this is looking a lot better. These were all end-of-line pins and they've all gone down a lot. This container here was full of ornaments, so I'd say we've sold about 1/3 of those, maybe a bit more. And then this was wildflower bundles, like mystery bundles, and that's gone down a lot, as well as some really old notebooks from the Plan, Inspire, Create days, which I've only got 1 mermaid one left now, and then some paper boats. I'll be glad when the last of them are gone at some point. And then on this end, in these little drawers, were seconds pins that we'd sorted and graded. This one here was absolutely chocker full of Positive Pants pins. Jenna, if you're watching this, I don't know if you watch my vlogs, bought 19 seconds pins. I'm assuming for gifts. I think the address was a school. So that was really lovely. And then this was a mix that's looking very empty now, as is this box of C grade pins. Then we've just got some music pins. There's a lot more B grade Positive Pants pins, but we did make a dent in it. Probably about halved the Reading is My Therapy. That was a mix that's gone down a lot. And then we had some Lottie and Bluebell pin sets. They did well as well. So even though it looks like we've got a lot left, we actually got through a lot of the stock, which is amazing. So I had a look at what sold by product type because I was quite interested to see that, because some products it looks like we haven't made a dent in, but I was actually surprised to see how many of them we'd sold. So in terms of the top 5 product types of quantity we sold 140 stickers. That was the biggest product category we sold, but obviously it's a lower cost item, so it didn't make it in my top 5. I think it was 6th in terms of the money it actually brought in. Then pins, we sold 119 seconds pins. Notepads we sold 88, cards we sold 82, and prints we sold 64. So we did actually make a massive dent in the prints, more than I thought. Sometimes it's easier to see with certain product types, oh, we've sold loads of those, or if there's not many left, whereas if it still looks like you've got a lot, sometimes it's a bit deceiving. And then in terms of the actual money we brought in, the biggest was the pins. Selling those 119 pins, we made the most amount of money from pins. Then notepads and journals, which we've also made a massive dent in, they're back in the house. Ornaments, and then art prints, surprisingly. So I was really, really pleased with that. It's a shame art prints don't normally bring in that much money. That's why I'm discontinuing them. But in terms of end of line clearance and making sure seconds items aren't being wasted, because if you look at the amount of stuff I had on that table or tables, if I was to just say, I don't want to sell them at a discount price because it takes away from the full price products, and also it's a reflection on the brand or whatever. Like if I just said, no, I'm just going to bin these, then just think about all the waste when actually 97 people have had some lovely items at a bargain. So for that reason, I really like being involved with the Super Seconds sale. And like I said earlier in the vlog, it's the 2nd year I've done it, and I definitely think, and I fed back to them, that having done it once and got my head around the sale and focused a bit more on how other people run their second sales and things like that, I felt like I'd got to grips with the basics of the event and I could dive into the other stuff a bit more, because while you're taking part, there's workshops you can watch, there's live streams you can go to in terms of helping you make the most out of the sale. There's co-working sessions if that's useful for you to get your head down during that time and try and work through some of these tasks. So all of those things are really, really useful. And there's also a Facebook group where you can swap tips with other makers, ask if you're stuck on something, whether it's something about marketing or the sale as a whole, or whether it's for your specific platform you're selling on. So I got added to a group of people that sell on Shopify in an Instagram chat. And then if anyone had any like technical Shopify specific queries, we could help each other out. And people were really friendly and wanted to help boost up other businesses. So if you weren't getting as many sales, or if you wanted someone to share your business, like people were posting saying, oh, I'm going to be doing a load of sharing today, leave me your Instagram handle if you want me to share your stuff, and stuff like that. So it was all really, really helpful in trying to get you in front of new people, as well as obviously the Super Seconds Festival sharing your content. The thing that I didn't do this year or last year was take part in their lives. So you can go live with the Super Seconds Festival organisers, almost like a mini QVC style live where you show what you're selling and you talk a bit about your business. And I didn't sign up for that this year. It was just a little bit hard with it being on the weekend and that being family time, but I think next time I'd just try and organise it and make sure I do it. And then also makers were going live with each other, and I didn't ask anyone this year or take advantage of that, whereas next year maybe I could if I got into the festival again. So I feel like each year you do something, you feel more confident in the bits you do know, and then you can add to it. And I guess that's kind of the same with everything. But But I think it's really good because the things that I've learnt this time, I would apply to other things. So something I think helped me majorly, like I talked about earlier in the video, was sitting down and having a content plan for emails and social media. Every day I was saying something different about the festival, showing something different for probably about 2 weeks. People probably sick of hearing from me. I wonder how many people unsubscribed, I don't know, or unfollowed. But I feel like clearly it worked because I would see another flurry of orders again. So I think that just goes to show and proves the point to me that I need to make sure I'm doing that for big events and launches and just in general, like not having something like this. And then what would ordinarily happen is I would disappear off social media now and not post anything for, I don't know, like go quiet and then realise, oh dear, you've dropped off Instagram, and then have another flurry. I need it to be more consistent. And then the other thing that I thought was really good was having the items up on the website available to browse but not buy before the sale, because people could make a little wish list ahead of time, they could see what it was all about. It also pushed me to get things up there earlier. Now, I'm not going to lie, I'd say probably half the listings were done in time for the previous evening, so I didn't give people that much time to browse. So next year, or for any future sales, if I was to do that again, I would set myself a deadline to get that all done a lot earlier, and then it'd just be like, if I found any last bits, I would add them in. But I liked having that there as a feature, and I think people liked it. If you did or didn't browse in advance, or like if you've seen that before, let me know in the comments if that's something you like, to be able to have a bit of a browse ahead of time. I guess when things go live on a Saturday, for example, you might be busy, and if you've planned out what you want ahead of time, you can just click, click, click when it goes live, make sure you get what you want, and then carry on with your day. I found that really useful on other makers' websites, because when you're taking part in the sale, it's really hard to shop other people's sales, and you can see all the stuff the other makers are going to be selling, but you miss out on them because you're too busy trying to launch your own sale. So I did, as well as having my stuff open, I had like another set of tabs open of things that I'd seen in advance that I thought, oh, I'm going to try and snag that at the time it goes live. And I got some, I didn't get some, and then I had a browse later in the day and did a little bit more shopping. So yeah, all in all, I'm so glad that I was able to take part again this year. I think they're twice a year, and I've just been doing the autumn one. So I'll have a think about whether I want to apply for the next one. I think it's going to be in March, and I hope they would have me in the sale again. So watch this space. Now we have the task of finding homes for the things that didn't sell, but that'll be in next week's vlog. So if you like this video, please like it and consider subscribing. It really helps my channel to keep growing, and I am very grateful for you all for watching every week. So until next week, take care. I'll see you then. Bye everyone.